But Floyd is, believe it or not, my third foreigner boyfriend.
Oh, how does
Yeah,
Filipinos react when they see you here in the Philippines?
abroad.
I would
So
say
all the stereotypes, if you read them, it hurts a little. But
Mhm.
I mean, when you think about it, these people don't know me. They don't know anything about
With
me.
you, babe. Di
I
ba
think it's
they
more
used to
of
call you, yo, Joe, what's up, Joe? And you had a good experience.
I was being a little
Joe?
cheeky with her, but I was also serious. I said, and if it doesn't work out, I can still just talk to these other women that I kind of cut off. I'm like, it's actually not that bad for me.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
This is Dorian.
And this is Kelly. So for today's video, it's February, so it's love month, isn't it? And might as well, it's about time for us to hang out with a different couple. So,
We have some very special guests
mhm.
that you're going to meet in about 5 minutes' time. So let's see, they're going to turn up and we're going to take them to our favorite place in Subic Bay, Freeport, and hang out and have a few questions.
So, yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. And for today's video, we do have our special guest.
Special guests.
Drum roll.
Floyd, Pinoy
and,
Floyd.
and Janica.
Thank you so much, guys, for giving us time today.
Of course.
So they traveled, guys. They traveled from all the way from Makati up here to north. So they went here in Subic Bay, and might as well let's take a chance to get to know them, isn't it? Floyd, you are from Texas, right?
Yes, Houston, Texas, specifically, and it's the greatest city. I'm just kidding. It's not the greatest city on planet Earth, but it's an amazing city, beautiful place. So many similarities to Manila, but that's where I'm from, and I was living there for 20 years. But I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where I was born and raised, and then we moved to Houston. But I call Houston my second home.
That's great. And Janica, where are you from?
Obviously, I'm from here, the Philippines. So I was born and raised here in the Philippines, but I'm also from Luzon, northern Luzon, from Isabela. That's like 9 hours away from Metro Manila.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's really a long drive.
Yep.
Would you drive from Manila to Isabela for 9 hours? Have you tried it? Land
No,
travel.
I've always been driven by someone else.
Oh,
My
so
dad.
you've tried the land travel?
Yeah, many times.
But there's a flight. There's a flight from
She won't be doing any driving.
Yes,
She
I
doesn't
don't
have a license.
guys.
Philippines.
Right.
I'm a passenger princess.
Yeah.
It's nice to be a passenger princess. To be fair, I like being a passenger princess. I don't want to. I don't want to drive anymore. I'm so happy that we do have these two lovely couple. How long you been together?
3 years.
Going on 4.
Mhm.
Going on board, my. So Clark, you said you are from you are from America.
Correct.
What brings you here in the Philippines? What makes you? Because you say, if I'm not mistaken, you're only 33, right?
31.
31. Oh my goodness, I'm the 33. Sorry.
It's okay.
So you're 31 and young adult. And
Correct.
most of the expats that travel to the Philippines are mostly on older days or older age. So what brings you here at your age? What brings you here in the Philippines?
So originally what brought me here was partially my relationship. I was in a long distance relationship with my now girlfriend, Janica. And the other part was, just stepping outside of America and taking that first trip overseas. Up until that point, I had traveled to a couple of different areas of America, New York, Chicago, Miami, Las Vegas, a few different areas, but I had never experienced travel outside of America. And at that time, it was COVID time, post COVID time. So things were going really crazy all across America. But my business was doing well. I help people relocate to Houston and I help them find apartments and high rises and condos. And at that time, everyone was leaving the East Coast and the West Coast and all of these crazy cities where, things were going crazy and they were coming to Texas, more specifically Houston, because Texas had opened itself up and things were, running a little bit more smoother. And my business was booming. and I did very well, financially. So I wanted to treat myself to something, and that was an
Filipina.
international trip.
Your best treat is the having a Filipina. That makes you bring here.
I thought you were a different type. Floyd. Oh.
No, but initially I wanted to treat myself to a trip, and the first place was not the Philippines. It was actually Puerto Rico. But that same year, Puerto Rico had a nasty hurricane and earthquake. So I scrapped those travel plans, started asking some friends for recommendations. One friend said South Africa. I didn't really know much about South Africa. Beautiful place. I just didn't have any knowledge about it.
I want to go to South Africa
I've heard it's a great
to,
place.
to search my father and because my father is there.
So sorry. So how did you meet online?
Online,
You
Yes.
did meet online.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I had a Filipina virtual assistant that was helping me in my real estate business. And I would talk to her about some things. So she knew I was planning a trip, and she recommended the Philippines. And I thought, okay, well, I never thought about the Philippines, but I know, from my interactions with her and one of my closest friends in Houston, who is, he's biracial, he's half black, half Filipino. We've been friends for years. So I've known about the Philippines through the food and the culture. And I had, little instances of knowing about this country.
Mm.
And the more I started to talk with my assistant and the more research I started to do, I figured, hell, this would be a cool trip.
Mm.
So the next thing is I got out of a nasty relationship at that time as well. So
Okay.
business is going well, getting out of a nasty, toxic relationship and wanting to seek something new.
So you want a fresh new start.
Exactly.
Fresh Filipina on the go.
Wow. You want to put it like that? So I download this dating app and a few dating apps, change the location. I start chatting with a couple of different Filipinas, but things just really clicked with Janica and I. It was different. Some Filipinas, they'll chit chat with you, but they don't want to video call because their English is not as great, or they think their English is not great and they're insecure
They're
about
very
it.
insecure about
Yeah.
the
Right.
grammar.
Right. And then some of them aren't serious, or because they're so used to chatting with foreigners, they might think, oh, I'll never meet this guy.
Yeah.
This is just, chit chat.
Yeah.
Or the internet situation. You told me about that before.
Oh, yeah. Or the internet situation where the Philippines has poor internet connection and
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to chat with someone.
Mm.
So, for those various reasons, some things didn't work out with other Filipinas that I was chatting with, but they worked out with Janica. And
Mhm.
I'm glad they worked out because we wouldn't be here right now
Right?
if they hadn't worked out.
And they're enjoying their life together here in the
Exactly.
Philippines.
Exactly.
What about you, Janica? You said you're from Isabela. Have you had a previous Filipino relationship before Floyd?
Okay, I had a Filipino relationship somewhat. I've never had an actual relationship, like an actual boyfriend before Floyd, but I had like I had like
Puppy love. So you had puppy love.
yeah, or no label relationship. Okay, there we
MU,
go.
We call it
Yes,
in the Philippines MU, mutual understanding.
mutual understanding.
Yeah, that sounds dodgy.
It's like
call them situationships in America.
situationship. Yeah, so I had
Mutual that sounds very corporate. Mutual understanding. Did you know this? No, this is my first time finding that out.
we call that mutual understanding here.
Psychology corner.
All right.
Mutual
Wow.
understanding relationship in the Philippines. We call it MU when we were younger.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've had one Filipino situationship before Floyd, but Floyd is, believe it or not, my third foreigner boyfriend.
Ah.
Third.
Yeah,
No, I'm
do you know this?
Wait, so you like he likes American sausage then? No. Carda.
Oh dear.
So
What's going?
this is me.
We'll cut that
Charot.
We'll cook that one.
So anyway, so you never had a serious relationship with the Filipinos and you choose to have a Western boyfriend.
Not that I chose to have a Western boyfriend. I was my first job was in Thailand. My first ever job. So I was working abroad. So after graduation I started working, but it was already abroad. So most of my coworkers are foreigners.
So
And
you're
I've
more
never-
exposed with foreigners.
Yes, and I've never dated before. This is after college, right? During college, I've never dated anyone.
She's a good girl. Not
Yep.
so me.
And my first, the first guy that I was with is foreigner. And then Filipino, and then American because I was in the US before, and then Floyd.
None of them were black men, so you know, once you go black,
You'll
you never go back.
wheelchair.
Yeah. I want that.
What about in English? What do you say? Once you go white, once you go white.
Everything else is shite.
My goodness,
Not too
this.
bad on the spot.
Where are we
It's not
going
too
in
bad.
this? Where are we going in this vlog, guys? But anyway, so basically, she is, as he said, he is your first Black American boyfriend.
Yeah.
And is there any how was it like dating as a Filipina? Because me as a Filipina, I've experienced numerous stereotypes, comments, and whatever from the Filipinos and from other Western men. It's because, or from other Western people, it's because I'm simply dating a Western guy. What about you? What is your experience as a Filipina dating him?
Well, I would say it's the same as what you've experienced, and I'm still experiencing it right now. So in the comment sections, they would say like mean stuff about me. Yeah, they would call me like, yeah, is she your maid? Something like that. And then, oh, she's just with you for the money, stuff like that. She's a gold digger, but they don't know you as a person. Yeah. Meanwhile, every time we meet up with my family, they would treat us. You know, Christmas, New Year, we don't really need to spend a lot because it's already prepared for us when we meet up with them. And my family never asked us for a single amount of money from him. Because why? Because my dad worked his way up, you know, where he is working right now. And I would say that they are very stable. My mom never had to work a day in her life, and they were able to put us in good schools, me, my brother, and my sister. And on top of that, they gave us the opportunity to travel and work abroad. So all the stereotypes, if you read them, it hurts a little, but I mean, when you think about it, these people don't know me. They don't know anything about me. I think it's more of like projecting.
Yeah.
Maybe these people hate themselves so much that when they see someone who's in a happy, healthy relationship,
Yeah.
they hate on those people because they can't get the same thing.
Yeah. And that's a good insight as well that not because you're Filipina, not all the Filipinas are just with the Western man because of the financial dynamics, right? It depends on the person. It depends on her upbringing. It depends on their liking. If they fancy each other, then let them be. Diba? Let them be. Let them be happy. As simple as that. So let's go back, Floyd. Let's go back to culture shock and daily life here
Yeah.
in the Philippines. What was your biggest culture shock when you moved to the Philippines?
Okay. I've had so many, but if I had to just boil it down to maybe like one or two,
When you arrive in the airport, oh my God, is this Philippines? Oh my goodness.
well, I was surprised when I arrived at the airport, but I think I was just more surprised by how welcoming people really are. I know the Philippines is known, you know, Filipinos are known as warm, welcoming people. And although I have gone to different Filipino restaurants and they are, you know, warm and welcoming, just seeing how accommodating everyone can be was that was a bit of a culture shock. And then also the transportation. I say transportation probably biggest culture shock. Seeing, you know, 20 people packed into a jeepney and then seeing two on top, that was surprising.
Dorian asked me about that before when we were in Greenbelt.
Yeah.
Because remember, babe, in Landmark, there's like you and Lawrence asked me, why is that? What is that? Why are they on queue? And then I told you, babe, it's because that jeepney is only for like 10 pesos. So they will pack like 20 people inside of it.
Yeah. But another culture shock, I would say, and I can't believe I'm saying this about an Asian country, I couldn't believe how rude some people could be in the Philippines. But it's because,
Rude.
yes, rude. It's because in America, we have certain things that we do, and in the Philippines, they have certain things that they do. Like, for example, if I'm in a grocery store and I need to get by you, in America, you would usually just say, "Excuse me." In the Philippines,
They will just slide in.
they're all on top of
Yeah.
you. And I'm like, Ate, you can just say, "Excuse me." But I've noticed that because in the Philippines, they're used to having to share all of their space.
There's no personal.
There's no personal space. So they had no reference of "excuse me."
Some.
It's not upbringing, it's a cultural thing, though,
Right.
isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
What about you, babe? Did you experience that with a door?
Well, I can't stand the door thing. You know, generally hold the doors open for everybody, and then you'll go into, say, a supermarket. You'll end up holding it for 20 people, won't you?
Yeah.
You know, oh, I'm not the doorman. You know,
Because
I
he
may
likes
look like the doorman, but I'm not the doorman.
Because he likes opening up the door for
Yeah.
me. So, for example, like he opens the door, I enter, and then there were a bunch of Filipinos or bunch of people that's next to me or next to us. They will just literally slide in themselves without like someone will touch the.
There you go.
He was just shocked. What's happening? Do you want to ask questions, babe? Here's the.
I shall leave it down to you, my love.
Okay. So let's go back to Floyd.
Yeah.
This is obviously this channel, we cater everything in this channel. So being black in the Philippines, how does Filipinos react when they see you here in the Philippines?
I would say 60 to 80% think I'm a basketball player or
basketball,
an
okay.
athlete. I played basketball when I was in grade school, maybe. Yeah.
People say he looks like Dwayne Wade.
Imagine if you carried a basketball around with you.
Oh, they would flip
And
out.
then you're gonna wear
They would flip out. But yeah, I usually get that. And it's not just me, it's most of my friends who are Black Americans. They usually get that no matter the height. I have a friend who's like 5'7", 5'8". Even for him, they're like, "Oh, you play basketball?" It's like, come on, Kuya.
Yeah.
Him, really? But I think it's just because Filipinos have this deep love for basketball. There's a
Yeah.
great love and
Exactly.
appreciation for basketball. No matter where you go, it doesn't matter if you're in the richest parts or the poorest parts of the
I don't even-
Philippines, you
I
can
don't-
find a
I
basketball
don't
court.
even know what basketball is.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
from the UK.
That's a shame.
Is there any stereotypes about being Black American? Did you notice here in the Philippines? Aside with that.
Other than that, I think that's about it. That's really the only stereotype I've gotten so far is, just being an athlete or being a basketball player.
It's different versus when you're in the US, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the US. Like he was telling me one time, like, babe, look at us, look at me. I'm wearing a hoodie in the middle of the night and just walking on the street here, and nobody
Yeah.
thinks that I'm gonna do something bad.
Mm.
And he said, like in the US, that's not a thing.
Right. So I would say
So
there's
do you think people here in the Philippines, they think that if you walk like that, they will think you're gonna do something bad?
No,
No,
in
it's
America,
actually the
a stereotype.
opposite.
Oh, the
Yeah.
So I think there's a lack of stereotypes out here,
Yeah.
which is part of the reason why I would say for most Black Americans, not even just the Philippines, just anywhere in Southeast Asia, you probably feel a lot more comfortable
Mhm.
just because there is a lack of stereotypes.
Stereotypes.
We
Yeah.
don't
Now,
have the same concept of racism.
right.
Mm.
But before you get to your next question, Kelly, I will just say because of that, there is also a big problem in the Philippines, and it's the N word. And a part of that is because culturally, some Filipinos might think it's okay to use that word, especially to a Black person. And
What's that?
the N word.
I'm lost.
Oh,
We can't really say it.
I mean,
Didn't know what it is.
Ah, okay.
this is a bit.
I'm sorry because I don't
Actually said that.
Wow.
That's your point, isn't it?
because I'm not that type of person.
Right.
If you're a person, you're a person. I
Right.
treat you nice, whatever,
Yeah.
whoever you
Example of
are.
that.
Yeah. But there are some Filipinos who have, said the N word to me thinking that that was a cool thing to say, and it
Oh,
really wasn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was very off putting, but I know it doesn't come from a place of hatred.
Yeah.
It's more of trying to use a word that they would say is familiar because they're hearing it in rap music or they're
Yeah.
hearing it in some type of TV show. And there's a deeper conversation that we can have about that a whole nother time. But I would say that's slightly off-putting about the Philippines. It has happened. And fortunately, I have a Filipina girlfriend who will scold people in Tagalog for me.
I do.
So you fight, like, for example, you correct them. Oh, stop it. That's not right. That's not good.
Yeah, I literally would tell them that because okay, as much as I understand why they would do that, because growing up on TV, we see that English movies, like black people would call each other the N word. And we thought, oh, maybe that's a term for a friend. We don't know that there's a story behind that word, and you
Right.
cannot just throw it,
Yeah.
whenever
Because
you
most
like
of
it.
us, we don't really understand what is the real meaning of
Yes.
that
Right.
towards them. Okay.
And it's happened in weird places too. We were in Siargao and we're on a motorbike driving through some little neighborhood. We're passing up a school and we see that they're selling
Taho.
taho. And I wanted to get some taho because I really like taho. And I'm like,
babe.
And I'm like, oh, babe, let's stop, pull over, let's get some taho. There's some school kids getting some. And I'm videotaping me walking up trying the taho. And I just hear, what's up, my N-word? And I'm like, 8-year-old kids.
They think it's cool, don't they? I think they think you wanted a bit of
Same
a...
with you, babe. Diba they used to call you, yo, Joe, what's up,
I
Joe?
can't stand that.
Oh,
What's up,
yeah.
Joe?
I think it was really funny. All laugh about it when you
Right.
say to me. You're like, oh yeah,
Joe.
I'm
Yeah, they
actually-
don't-
I'm actually
Everyone is
English.
Joe.
Right.
Yeah, even if you're American, a white American, and then they're, yo, Joe, what's up, Joe?
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
like that. So they don't really understand what is the real meaning of such things. It's just because I think most of the Filipinos, they will greet you that way because they think it's cool. They
Mhm.
think
Interaction.
yeah, they just want to interact, or they just want you to feel welcome without
Right.
thinking what's the real
Hey,
meaning
Joe's
behind
not
of
quite,
it.
not quite
Yeah.
the same as. the
Yeah,
N-word.
I get it.
Yeah, it doesn't hold as much
It doesn't
weight.
hold as much. I get it.
It's a little bit different. I think you can get over, hey, Joe. Hey.
Actually, I didn't. Actually, to be fair, I still feel it.
Since you are together for the past nearly 4 years,
Yeah.
and what made you fall in love with a Filipina?
Well, I can't really answer that question. I can answer what made me fall in love with this Filipina.
Happy Valentine's, everybody!
But what made me fall in love with Janica, I would say she had a lot of qualities that I admired. She's a very creative person. So when we first started chit-chatting and, messaging each other on WhatsApp and the dating apps, she mentioned that she was into crochet and she mentioned she was into jump rope and a few other things. And I always thought that was very interesting. And crochet.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. But no, seriously. I found that very interesting, and the conversation was never surface level only.
Mm.
We were always, having
Having a-
very interesting conversations, and also she was as interested in me as I was in her. And I always tell guys, especially if you're gonna date a Filipina, don't just be the only person investing your energy, time, and effort into the person. You want that reciprocated. So
Exactly.
you shouldn't only be interested in what they're doing. They should be interested in your life as well.
So basically, the guy, as a Western, not just a Filipino, this is my, not just a Western man, but this is in both side of men between women. If the men should, in my opinion, men should step forward, first step, and then if the man step forward, the woman should also step forward. It's not just always the man step forward, and
Yeah.
then the woman will just let be dragged towards the relationship.
So what point when you're on your LDR
Mm-hmm.
and you're going through all those interviews, but you're meeting people online? At what point when you were talking to Janica did you think, oh, this is the one?
Yeah. At what point?
At what point? Because I knew quite early on when I was talking to Kelly. At what point did you feel that? Give the right answer just to let you know.
So for me, at that time, I was 28-ish, just about. And I'd had, different types of relationships and just all different types of scenarios, whether I was, an older guy dating a younger woman. So like late 20s dating a woman in her early 20s. I had situationships. I had one-offs. I was even in a relationship with a cougar at some point in my life.
Cougar?
A cougar.
That's
Yeah.
a different story.
So, yeah, different story. But I still love that to say I had all of these different types of, scenarios and relationships. So I got to a point in my life where I knew what I wanted as a man and I knew what I didn't want in a relationship as a man. And I think for most men, the struggle with finding a partner is men don't know what they want.
You gotta know
And
what
they
you
also
want.
don't know what they don't want. And I think the second part is more important because when you don't know what you don't want, you're willing to put up with whatever.
Yeah.
And for me, it just happened in a series of stages. So it was like checking off boxes like, okay, cool. We're conversating. This is going well. Okay, we can vibe. We video chatted. Okay, that's going well. And things just kept happening in stages. So I wouldn't necessarily say there was any particular point where I thought, oh, she's the one. It just kept progressing. And I kept thinking, well, let me just see how far this goes. Let me just keep going. Let me just keep going.
That's good.
And I think that's a better approach to have.
Well, what I found is I'll talk about myself for just a minute.
Yeah.
What I found is though, when you are dating online, you've got so many, you're talking to so many. If you know you have got that vibe, what I wanted to do, I wanted to just basically just talk to one person, communicate with one person. And that's how I felt. I didn't want to be talking to loads of girls or
Right.
loads of ladies at the same time. I
Right.
wanted to concentrate on one person, see where that went, and then yes, and progress from there. And I think that's what ultimately is going to get you the lady you really want.
Right.
Because if you're smiling, if you're talking to others, you might lose the real one.
True. So with that in mind, I will say some of these women just naturally dropped off because they didn't fit into the criteria that I was looking for. So, I may have started with, I think, like 5 or 6, maybe 7 different Filipinas, including Janica. And she knows this. So,
7?
Yeah. 7.
And
And we were, chit-chatting, and then things just started to drop off. So with one Filipina, she never wanted to video chat. And I'm like, well, we're not going to be pen pals.
Yeah.
So boom, she's done. Another one, I found out she was like a party type girl. So I was like, I'm not into that. One, we would chat, but it would be very sparse conversations here and there. Like we would chat for a day and then I wouldn't hear from her until like a week later, and I couldn't do that. And then, so they just started dropping off, and Janica was, she
I
lasted.
wasn't so busy. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but she
shows interest.
Yeah.
she showed interest, and she actually believed that this was a viable, possible relationship. And the same for me, which is kind of crazy because, believe it or not, once I came to the Philippines, some of those women were following me on social media, not on my account that I make content on one of my personal accounts. And once they saw I was in the Philippines, oh my gosh, wow, you're in the Philippines, you're in Manila. And I'm like, yes, I am with her, not you. Just to jump ahead of the story, when I first came to the Philippines, I only met with Janica. We stayed together my whole trip in my Airbnb. And that was a very...
We don't need the details, okay.
Well, I'm giving the details because it's a very interesting scenario.
Really? Here we go.
He's talking about something else, babe.
No. But no, to meet a stranger, essentially a stranger that you've been talking to for months.
All of a sudden you click, diba?
Yeah. And now you're with this person for your whole entire trip. That was a bit of a risk and a gamble on my end, and a bit of a risk and a gamble on her end because so many things can go left.
So just stop you there for a minute. So how long from your LDR to meeting?
Roughly
6 or 8 months.
6 or 8 months.
That's not about,
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I had, when I had my previous relationships, I came to the Philippines, met them, and didn't get on with them.
I see.
Yeah.
1 month, 1 month, 2 months LDR. You generally like after 1 to 2 months, you meet them in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And then when he arrives here, he doesn't like it. So
Yeah. Didn't like it.
he
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. It was just a different time for us. Remember, this is post COVID, so things are slowly starting to open up. The Philippines wasn't quite open yet. And at that time, we were trying to make the decision of should we meet in Vietnam, because Vietnam had already opened up. So I think that was also part of the reason. Otherwise, I probably would have been in the Philippines maybe at the 3-month mark, 4-month mark.
I think anywhere from 2 to 4 months if you meet them. Because if you're talking to someone, I presume nearly every day
Mm-hmm.
for weeks on end,
Yeah.
you think you know them, but the ultimate spark, you only know it when you meet, don't you?
Yeah.
yeah, in person. That
Yeah.
I remember telling Janica as I was preparing for the trip, and she said, well, do you think we'll like each other in person? And I said, well, there's an 85% chance of it going right and about a 15% chance of it going wrong. And I said, 85% is a good percentage so far. I'm like, the 15%, I can gamble with that because, hey, if things don't go the way that they should go, at least I have a great trip. And
and you had a good experience.
I was being a little cheeky with her, but I was also serious. I said, and if it doesn't work out, I can still just talk to these other women that kind of cut off. I'm like, it's actually not that bad for me.
You're already here. Take the chance, no? Bad boy.
Well, the reason I say that is because the problem that men who are coming to the Philippines have is they lock in with one woman and then things start going left.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, I have to do everything to save this relationship with this one woman, when they could just exit that relationship and go out and be around the many beautiful Filipinas that exist in this country. I
in
mean,
the ocean.
yeah.
You just don't get what do you call this? It's not. I mean, I'm not saying that it's nice, but if you think it's not right, why would you settle for the wrong one?
Exactly.
And if you think, I mean, it's very hard to explain, but in my opinion, let's say for us, he came here, it didn't work out. He would not have any hard time to find a different Filipina. So why would he settle with the wrong one? But at the same time, he also have to start from the scratch. It is what it is.
Good looking dudes.
But it is what it is, isn't it?
It's better. It's better to be. It's better to take time to meet the right one than settling with the wrong one.
100%.
So what about you, Janica? What makes you fall in love with Floyd? No? No?
I would say he's very different from the past relationships that I had. In the past relationship, like I said, they are not like actual relationship. I don't know where I stand. But with Floyd, from the very beginning, when we know that this is already serious, he told me like where I stand in his life. Like I am important to him, and later on he wants me to be his wife, mother of his kids. So I know that this guy has a good intention. And matter of fact, he's the only guy that I had the confidence to introduce to my family. My dad's in the military. I've never I've never introduced anybody to them, but he's the first guy. So I would say like I know that his intentions are pure. And during the first time that he introduced like, hey, maybe we should video chat because texting, I don't think it's a good idea.
boring.
Yeah, it's boring. At first I thought, oh, this guy is just gonna ask for nudes.
Yeah.
No, it's the opposite.
To be fair with him, he also didn't do that nudes thing.
And yeah.
I'm more of an in-person guy. I gotta.
It's not waiting that long.
Right.
And so see, that's what I liked about him is because every single video call is an actual good conversation.
Yeah.
So you had a
He can
very good
talk.
banter.
We know he can talk, okay? We know he
So that's a good thing because you guys like jive on set of your talking stage.
Yeah.
That's a one thing kasi I'm doing live stream with the other Filipinas sometimes in TikTok and they were saying, Ate Kelly, how are you? How are you gonna converse with them? Like what are the topics that you guys talk about? You just have to open up you as a Filipina, you just have to open up yourself and be who you are because that's one thing that they would love about you. You as an individual, you as a person.
And I
Diba?
think it probably helps. You probably have more life experience compared to most Filipinas because you've worked.
I would say
Yeah.
so. I would say so, yeah. Because prior Okay, so here's the thing. So I went to university, right? We have foreign students in our university. There was one time, I think he is a Korean, came up to me and asked, where is this building? And I'm like, mm-mm. Like
You
I
were
was
so
like,
shy to explain.
yes. And then once I started working abroad,
It builds your
it suddenly I can talk to foreigners in English. And also I met like a lot of different people from different culture already to know that, there's other cultures that exist. And how I grew up is different from these people. So I have like a background already of how it is outside this world that I know.
Yeah, I think that was the secret sauce to making our relationship work is Janica's experience living and working in Thailand, her experience living and working in the United States, and just being able to understand a little bit more of American culture. And then also for me, already tapping into Filipino culture through the food and, through what my virtual assistant has told me, we were able to understand each other a little bit more and relate a little bit more. Whereas, I've heard stories of different foreigners where, you know, the communication is not there because the guy can't relate to the woman and the woman can't relate to the guy. So I think as long as there's some mutual connection in terms of the communication and some relatability, it could be a successful relationship.
Definitely. I can only speak from my experience, and what I found is that when I was doing my dating early on, I tend to pick more middle class girls or professional girls. Not those professional girls, by the way. I'm talking about, professional career women. That's when I got better conversations as opposed to, let's say, province girls.
Right.
What do you say about it, Kelly?
This is one of the things that I always encourage the other Filipinas on my live stream. If you are a Filipina who wants to build a relationship with a foreign guy in the future, let's say you're young, you're in 20s, might as well try to develop or try to live life by yourself while you're waiting for the right guy. Because without you knowing the life that you're building for yourself, that will also develop you on how to become the right woman for your future husband. Diba?
Most Filipinas do really wait for the one, don't they? It's a bit like you said. You never took anybody back or met your parents. That is a real acid test for a Filipina and the family when you get that privilege.
Yeah.
I was the same with Kelly as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like first. Even with your previous partner, and you've been with him for 5 years, hadn't you?
Yeah. Well, my previous partner, he's Filipino, but he have like a Chinese blood. I never introduced him to my family until we turned 2 years together. And then 5 years didn't work out. He cheated. So that's when I realized, I didn't date. I didn't jump into another relationship after that toxic relationship. I've had to take time for myself, like heal and develop what I really want in life. So that's after 5 years, that's when I started to settle down with Dorian. So you mentioned a while ago that you've already experienced as a Filipina. You've already experienced living in Thailand, work in Thailand. You experienced living in the West. So basically, you had your life in the West already without Floyd or without having a Western man. Most of the Filipinas, they will try to have a foreign husband. In that way, they can move to America. But you are different. You are already there, and you're with Floyd now, and then you started to decide that you would rather be in the Philippines with Floyd, and you gave up your other opportunities in Australia or in the West. So, what's your take about it?
I mean, so when I was in the US, a lot of people, a lot of my friends has done that. You know, they find someone to marry before their visa ends, and then so that they could stay there. For me, it was more of like I'm scared because what if this does not work,
The relationship.
the relationship, and so I am left there, no family, no nothing, and I would rather come home and just restart my life because I'm not scared of not having opportunities. There's always an opportunity. But then when I met Floyd, so it was after a little bit after pandemic, right? And I was still working at the time. But then I told my dad, oh, I want to quit my work again because it was toxic. And he's like, so my sister is in Australia. And he's like, oh, why don't you just go with your sister in Australia? Just follow her and do the same thing that she did. And I got like scared to do that because wait, well, Floyd is coming out here and this is something that is good. That for the first time I have something good. And I don't want that to go away because I'm also like in a stage where I'm looking for someone already to be with for like a long time. Basically to settle with.
And that was a very tough conversation to tell someone to essentially abandon their career hopes and dreams to take on, a new venture. It wasn't an easy conversation, but I don't know. I think when you are in love with a person and things are going well and they're going better than they've ever gone in your entire life on both ends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would say it's worth, the risk. It's worth to gamble.
Chance, yeah.
And I would always explain to Janica, like, well, hey, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. We might have skipped one step or one part of the story. Early on, I told her, I hate long distance relationships. I will not do long distance relationships. So what does that mean? That means either you're coming to where I'm at or I'm coming to where she's at. And because of the visa setup with, the Philippines passport, that meant I was going to the Philippines. So when people tell me, or when people ask me, oh, well, why did you move to the Philippines? Well, mostly for my relationship, because otherwise this relationship wasn't going to work.
If it's healthier, yeah.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, all of us are adults and young adults here. So, I think once you know what you really want in life, that's where you can decide. Because if for me and Janica, we are both in our mid-30s. We are these type of women who are not eager for the careers anymore. We want to have a source of income, definitely. But at the same time, we are these type of woman that wants to settle down already. So what, as a woman, you really have to ask yourself, what do you want? Do you want to settle down or do you want to build your career? It's great if you could have both at the same time. But dating a Western man, it could be you have to choose sometimes, 'di ba? And it's not it what's important, I think what's important is, again, you know what you want and you go from there. And both of you, as an individual, as a couple, both of you are gonna go towards the same direction. No?
Yeah.
I agree. And, just giving your commitment to someone, especially as a man, giving a woman the commitment that, hey, we are going to get married. We are going to have kids. We are going to do this. I am going to uproot my whole entire life and move to a different country that I've never even been to. That takes a lot of balls. And I would say so far, and you can chime in, babe, I would say I've lived up to all of those commitments.
Yeah.
Because
So if you think about it, it's crazy for someone to just hold on to like I'm promising you this, that, and that, and then okay, I'm giving up my career for that.
Yeah.
But I believe in him so much, and so far I could say like he's been working really, really hard for our future.
We can see that on the vlogs.
Well, mind you, this is something else. This was before Pinoy Floyd. This was before I started making content. I was just regular old me, real estate agent, you know. So there was no Pinoy Floyd. So I couldn't even leverage that. Like, hey, I'm a famous vlogger. So it was all on love and belief and faith that this relationship is going to work out. It is going to result in marriage, kids, success, all of this stuff. And it's been an interesting journey, but
So basically, what you guys were saying is it's a matter of faith. For the relationship to work, both of you should have faith to each other, isn't it?
Yes, yes. And you should be a team.
absolutely.
And that's what we believe in. We are a team.
Yeah.
Yes. Same with us. We're teammates, no? We're teammates. Sometimes I'm Jerry and he's the cat, Tom and Jerry. We catch each other and fight. Charot lang. But anyway, guys, this is a really nice. Thank you so much, guys, for taking your time to be with us. And it's really nice to hear different love story from Western guys and from the Filipinas. It's so nice to see success stories. So I think that's it for now, guys. If you enjoy these videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And where do they find you guys?
So you can find all of my content at Pinoy Floyd. That's on every social media platform. Janica has her own.
Yep. You can find me on Janica.Lukyo.
Yeah.
Great. So yes, they have a very good contents, guys. So if you want to check them out, I'll put their link below.
That's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And of course, subscribe for more real stories. See you on the next vlog.